Okay, today we are going to look at auditors' integrity, independency, and objectivity. That is audit professional ethics, or ethics in audit profession. That is what I want us to look at today. Ethics in audit profession. And this ethic is telling us that the auditor needs to be to work with high integrity. So we'll look at, when we say integrity in audit, what does it mean? Auditor need to work with independency. So we'll look at, when we say independency in audit, what it means. Objectivity in audit, professional due care. What does it mean in audit? This is what we are coming to look at. So the first principles of auditing integrity is that it should be based on integrity. The auditor should work with high integrity. The term integrity refers to honesty, fairness, and truthfulness in all aspects of the auditing. The auditor should be seen with high integrity. It should be honesty, fairness, truthfulness in all aspects of the auditing process. It also means being free from bias or prejudice. The auditor should be free from bias or prejudice. Integrity is one of the most important principles of auditing because it ensures the quality of the audit report. Auditors must have the ability to objectively evaluate the data they collected. I mean, when we say data, the information they are working with. They must not allow their personal opinion to be influenced, to influence their findings. Auditor should not allow his personal opinion to influence their findings. What that means is that as you do the work, as you audit the organization, your personal opinion should not influence your finding. If you find that your findings happen to be so bad, report as such. Don't change any figures. That is what it means. Yes. Now, furthermore, auditors should not accept anything from the company being audited as a gift. Gifts are considered to be compromising the integrity of auditors. Even the perception of integrity compromise can affect the audit credibility. Hello? Hello?
Hi.
So, Christiana? Hello? Is Christiana there? Okay. Like, I want her to answer me one question, but he's not responding.
I think maybe the network is...
Yeah, maybe the network. Okay, let's go on. Now, we know that fair presentation, auditors' fair presentation, which is also an ethic. In fact, from all these areas that I'll be meeting you on, I've set questions from what is your mid-sem, start from these areas, from the new things that I'll be teaching you, all our examination areas. I've already set your questions.
Okay. The mid-semester.
Mid-sem and same, I'll finish. So we need to cover a certain areas. Hello?
Okay, so, sir,
So let's concentrate. We shall talk later. Now, fair presentation. This principle states that information presented during the audit is fair and unbiased. When conducting audit, auditors are required to present only facts and figures. They may not make any assumption about the companies, about what the company does or how it operates. Auditors should work with facts and figures. The auditor must have the ability to objectively evaluate the facts and the circumstances presented in order to make sound judgment. If auditors do not base their findings on facts, then the result will be biased. So that is fair presentation. Auditor auditing an organization So auditors, if auditors do not base their findings on facts, then the results will be biased. This principle states that, I'm repeating it. This principle states that information presented during auditing is fair and unbiased. When conducting audits, auditors are required to present only facts and figures. They may not make any assumption about what the company does or how it operates. The auditor must have the ability to objectively evaluate the facts and circumstances presented in order to make sound judgment. If auditors do not base their findings on facts, then the results will be biased. This is what we term in audit ethics as fair presentation. Now, we have another term known as due professional care. Due professional care. This principle states that auditor must use due professional care when performing audit. As an auditor, you must use due professional care when performing audit. This means that auditors must conduct themselves professionally at all times. They must treat people with respect and dignity. They must follow procedures for collecting evidence, and they must write reports that are objective and factually correct. Due professional care, I'm repeating it. This principle states that auditors must use due professional care when performing audits. This means that auditors must conduct themselves professionally at all times. They must treat people with respect and dignity. They must follow procedures for collecting evidence, and they must write reports that are objective and factually correct. This is due professional care. Now, let's look at another term, another ethics that the auditor is expected to exhibit during his audit period. Confidentiality. Auditors are expected to show confidentiality when performing their work. Confidentiality is the fourth principle of audit credibility. Confidentiality is the 4 principles of auditing credibility. When auditors perform audits, they often gather information from many sources. Auditors must keep confidential information secret. You see, it's expected of the auditor when you are performing audit work in the Crown's organization, every information that you come across as you do the work must be kept confidentially. You have to keep every information that you come across as you perform the audit confidentially. There are informations that you are the only person who should consume the information. The third party is not having the preview to those information. Should not have access to those informations. Auditors must protect the confidentiality of their client's business secret. They must also protect their own work product. Only those who need access to this information should be allowed to see it. So, in the performance of the work of audit, auditors are expected to keep confidentiality, to be confident about any information they come across while performing their work. It is only those who have or who are privy to the information, they should know what is happening. The third party is not having the right to have information to your clients, any information about or have access to any information about your clients. Then let's look at independency, auditors' independency. Independency refers to the lack of relationship between the auditor and the entity under review. In other words, it refers to the auditor's impartial towards the auditee. An independent auditor assesses the activities in question without allowing those activities to affect his or her judgment. An auditor is considered independent if he or she has no conflict of interest. Hello? Hello?
Hi.
So as an auditor, independency means that you work without any conflict of interest. And that is the credibility of your independence. For small companies, it might not be possible to have an independent auditor for each internal audit. In this case, the organization should make all the effort to ensure that auditor is unbiased. Then, evidence-based approach. Let's look at evidence-based approach, which is also one of the professional ethics. The credibilities auditors are expected to exhibit in performance of their work. Evidence-based approach. The evidence-based approach is the 6 principles of auditing credibility. Auditors must collect sufficient evidence before making conclusion. Since audit has limited time to complete, it might not be possible to look at each and every piece of information. In such situation, auditors depends upon sampling. Sampling involves looking at subset of records, documents, accounts. The selection process should be random so that the sampling represents the whole population. Auditor should keep a record of specific sample review during the audit so that these are verified. What I'm trying to say is that we are doing evidence-based approach is the 6 principles of audit credibility an auditor must collect. An auditor must collect sufficient evidence before making conclusion. Since auditors have a limited time to complete, in auditing, we don't go there and assess every record because we have limited time. Your time allotted to audit, maybe the 1 year work, might be limited. So you cannot access every information. So at a point in time, you have to do sampling. You have to collect information that will present the whole population randomly so that you assess. And the random sampling that you do should be in position to represent the whole population because your time cannot meet the scope of the work. So sometimes in auditing, we do sampling. We sample out of the numerous data that we have to work with. And in doing the sampling, you should ensure that you are able to work. Your work should cover the entire population based on the sampling size that you pick. Evidence-based approach. So, and the sample should be able to give you enough evidence to support your opinion or support your conclusion. Then we have what we know as risk-based approach. Risk-based approach. Risk-based approach. Risk-based approach is the 7th principles of audit credibility. So we started this audit credibility. We said there are ethics in audit. And we first look at integrity, which is the first audit credibility auditor is expected to show. It should have integrity in performance of his audit. 2, fair presentation. Fair presentation. We said the auditor should work with facts and figures. You shouldn't work with assumption. That is fair presentation. Then due professional care. The auditor in performing his work must use due professional care when performing the work. This means that the auditor must conduct themselves in a professional manner when they are performing the work. That is the 3rd audit credibility. Then we have confidentiality, which is the 4th audit credibility. The auditor must be confidential in performance of his work. He shouldn't take his client's information to the 3rd party or his customer information. Then the auditor must be independent. When we say the auditor must be independent, means that in performance of his work, he shouldn't encounter any conflict of interest that will break will impair his judgment on the work that is performing. Will impair his judgment. Then we have the evidence-based approach. In performance of the audit work, since the information are numerous, you cannot cover the entire scope. The auditor must work with sampling. He must sample information and select randomly to meet the entire population. And I'm on the 7th one, which is risk-based approach. Risk-based approach is the 7th principle of auditing credibility, which states that auditor should focus on areas where there is high risk. Auditors must identify and consider risks before starting the audit project, even at the planning stage. This way, the auditor can focus on areas that are significant and important for the audit objective. So, risk-based approach. The auditor, in performing his work, must assess high-risk area, even from the planning stage. And by so doing, he will focus on important and significant areas informing his judgment. So these are the professional ethics that auditors are expected of. Now, the importance of these ethics conducts for the audit profession. Let's look at the importance of these ethics conduct. The importance. Auditing code of ethics are pretty important. They may provide the foundation of the rules and expectation that CPA and organization in general must follow during an audit. The code of ethics sets minimum criteria for the auditor's conduct and what the organization hiring them should expect in terms of behavior. Internal audit is an impartial, independent assurance and consulting activities that add value and improve company's operation. When I said internal audit, what do I mean? Please, Ajima and Co. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, when I say internal audit, I've explained this. What does it mean? What is internal audit? Hello? Ajima? Is
Yes, sir.
there? Is Christiana there? Ajima, what is internal audit? Hello, Christy?
Yes, please.
What is internal audit?
So I was not in the classroom yesterday.
Hello?
Yes.
What is internal audit?
It's internal audit.
Yeah, internal audit.
Okay. It's based on information outside the.
It's based on what?
Information outside the.
I can't hear you. Speak louder.
The network.
Christy, I'm listening to you.
Hello? Yes.
I'm listening to you.
I said.
I can't hear you. Okay, Ajman, help Christy.
Sir.
What is internal audit?
Internal audit. Yes, it's an independent and it's independent, and it's based in the company or the organization,
Okay.
and it helps to improve the organization's operations internally.
Internally. Okay.
Yes, sir.
We said internal audit are employees of the organization, and they ensure that the rules and policies and regulations that the organization accept to work with are being adhered to. Every organization has rules, policies, and regulations. And so internal auditors, they are employees in the organization, and they ensure that the policies, rules, and regulations that the organization accept to work with, the organization is adhering to. That is the role of internal auditors. They ensure that the policy, regulations, and the laws that the organization accept to work with, they are adhering to. So we say internal auditor is an impartial, independence assurance and consulting activity that add value and improve organization operation by implementing static, disciplinary, and professional approach. The organization can quickly achieve their goals and improve efficiency. So with internal auditors in the organization, efficiencies and effectiveness are ensured to be in place. So integrity in all professional and corporate dealings, a professional accountant should be forthright and honest while making all decisions. So when I mention professional accountant or auditor, while making all decisions and observation without any bias, objectivity, conflict of interest, or undue influence of others should not be allowed to trample professionally or business decision by professional accountant. So by objectivity, professional accountant and internal auditors are expected to be objective without any conflict of interest or undue influence. See, they are expected to be objective. Professional competencies and due care. Professional accountants have an ongoing duty to keep the professional knowledge and expertise up to date to ensure that competent professional service to their customers or employers based on the current practice, legislation, and procedures. So a professional accountant should remain the confidentiality of information obtained via professional and business connection, and must not divulge such information to the third party without sufficient and express authorization. There is only one perception in breaching a client's confidentiality, which is legal binding. A professional accountant should never use or sell confidential information obtained from professional and business interaction for the benefit of an outside party or personal gains. The information you are working on should not be used for any gain. Professionalism in behavior. A certified accountant should follow all the standard operating procedure and applicable laws. Thus, avoid any action that brings the profession into disrepute. So, professional accountants, auditors are expected to behave normally in their operation, in their profession. We own a moral responsibility as an accountant, as a professional accountant, as an auditor, we own a moral responsibility to the organization and to our clients. Code of ethics is crucial during audit process. Not following the code of ethics may lead to several threats that might affect your profession. So if you are an accountant and you don't follow the code of ethics, you don't follow the professional credibilities, you are bound to face so many threats. The IFAC code of ethics ensures that an assurance firm's integrity, objectivity, independency are invulnerable to corruption. The business must have measures in place to protect itself. Here are some of the threats that you may or may not impact the audit procedures. So let's look at these few threats. The importance of code of conduct. If you don't follow the code of conduct as an accountant, these are threats that you are bound to face. 1, self-interest threat. Self-interest threat is when the auditor in question is incapacity benefiting from the firm's profit under the audit in the way associated with the company business operation. You face with self-interest threat. Self-interest threat is when the auditors in question is in any way is in any capacity benefiting from the firm profits under the audit is in any way associated with the business. So self-interest threat, where the auditor in question is benefiting in any way from the business is auditing. Then we have self-review threat. A self-review threat arises when the auditor reviews his report. As an auditor, you cannot review your own report. When you are reviewing your own report, you are faced with self-review threat. An auditor auditing their work always create a chance of self-review threat as auditor and may get biased on examining his work and struggle to present transparent information. If you are reviewing your own work, you will not show transparency, because the purpose of audit is you perform the work on the field and you bring this to a senior most to review. Then advocacy threat, you are bound to face advocacy threat. Advocacy threat danger occur when the firm, a member of the assurance firm or a member of the network firm, as the case may be, promote or is perceived to be promoting an assurance client's underpoint or opinion to obtain a jeopardizing objective, where you, the auditor, you are presenting information to jeopardize the clients. That is what we call advocacy threat, and it is very, very bad. Then we have familiarity threat. A familiarity threat occurs when a firm or an audit member in contact or has a good relationship with the client. You see, familiarity trait. If you are going to audit a client that you are familiar with, I said this in class that you are bound to face familiarity trait, and you have to drop it. You have to change. If you are leading, you have to change and let different person go. That is familiarity trait, because you are bound to face familiarity trait. Then we have intimidation threat. When assurance firm member feel threat, whether a real or imaginary, by the director. You see, intimidation threat during the process of your work, if you find that the firm you are auditing are intimidating you, it is where what we term as, or their dealings are intimidating you, you can drop or stop the work. That is what we call intimidation trait. Okay, so I'm running from here and we are moving straight to what this topic. Please, I'm starting audit planning. We are starting a new topic. Hello? Any questions so far on the professional ethics? Hello?
Yeah, so I wanted to ask this question.
So
It's not just I'm asking based on according to or based on the exams. I wanted to know that maybe
am I doing what? You are doing what?
No, I said I'm asking the question because of the exams, because
No, I'm not
asking.
teaching you for exam. I'm teaching you
No,
as a student.
say I'm asking that. I'm asking. I'm asking that. So let's say maybe you give us question in exams that we should write the importance of auditing, and maybe
I
you
will not
write.
say important. I will give you some notes that some short terms you need to express for me.
Say I'm just citing an example.
You okay, cite.
And maybe say if maybe you ask us and we list the importance, are we supposed to, and we understand because you've taught us, so are we supposed to use our own English, or we should write as it is in the slides?
No, whatever you use, if you are using English, if you use French, I'm listening to me. Hello?
Yes, sir.
If French or English, that will give me the same meaning as what I I taught you.
Okay, sir.
I'm not saying you should quote verbatim for me, but what you state should be equal to what I taught you.
Okay, sir. Oh, okay.
You understand me?
Yes, sir.
So today we are done with professional ethics in auditing. So I want us to start a new topic. Yeah, Christy, do you have any question? Christy? Okay, let's go on. I want us to start a new topic today. Audit strategy and planning.
Yes, please.
Audit strategy and planning. Audit strategy and planning. Now, audit strategies outline how audit must be conducted and set the timing and scope of the audit. It helps develop an audit plan comprising detailed response to an audit risk evaluation. However, it enables audit firms to complete their audit engagement. When I say audit engagement, audit work efficiency and effectively. So what we are learning now, audit strategy and audit plan. What it means is that as an auditor, before you move to a client premises or before you move to office to perform audit, you need to plan the audit work that you are going to do. The audit work you are going to perform, you need to plan it before you move from your office to somebody's office that you are going to do. And we have a numerous content that should be shown in the audit planning. We have a numerous issues that should come out in the audit planning. So this is what we are doing. So audit planning strategy, look at the audit planning strategies. We have the strategy, we have the auditor, we have the organization. So you see, the strategies move to the auditor and move to the organization that is going. If you look at this diagram, it moves to the organization where you are going to carry the work. That is where, so it means the audit strategies and audit plan all need to be prepared by the auditor. Now, beside establishing audit time frame, this strategy is vital in helping audit firms identify the resources utilization in the engagement. In addition, it outlines the documentation's requirement for the audit procedures. Some aspects defined by this strategy are reporting objective, the objective of your reporting, the audit engagement scope. That means the scope of the work you want to do. All this needs to be found in the audit strategies and the audit plan. The nature of communication within the grants and the engagement, the communication that you need to have with the employees and the management of the firm that you are going to audit. All those things need to be spelled out in the audit plan. So let's go on. So audit plan. And as I told you, you have to take all these areas very serious, from the ethical to the audit planning, strategies and plan. And we have one that will be doing audit evidences and internal control. All those areas are examinable areas. So you have to be very serious. So audit strategies and audit plan. Audit strategy meaning referring to combinations of audit approach taken by the auditor, resource allocation and management, the way of managing the audit engagement, and the timing. Overall, the purpose of this method is to reduce audit risks. The purpose of planning here and there is to reduce and to offer a complete way to handle the audit engagement efficiently. By utilizing this method, auditor can determine the necessary resources and identify the expertise and experience level required to perform the audit. However, the strategy can help auditors determine how to direct, supervise, and manage the resources. In this case, the auditor can help. In this case, the method can help auditors set a meeting and guide audit team members in carrying out their duties and review the work done by senior team members. These strategies also involve developing an audit approach, including the substantive testing and test of controls. For instance, auditor might reduce some of their substantive work and carry out the test of controls if they plan to depend on grants internal control. Alternatively, they may go directly to substantive tests without relying on internal control. So, hello, Crash. What is substantive testing? And what is testing of controls? Hello? Hello, Crash. Ajumai. Okay. Ajumai. Okay. When we say substantive test, is a detailed testing of information from the accounting records, looking at everything. That is substantive testing. Detailed assessment of information from the accounting records, from 0 to 10, checking of everything. That is what we term as substantive testing.
Oh, okay, sir.
Are you okay?
Yes, sir.
Detailed checking of everything in the accounting records to ensure that they are accurate and correct. Then when we say test of controls, is detailed assessment of the policies and regulations in the organization. That's test of controls. We said those are internal controls. Internal controls are policies and regulations that the organization has accepted to work with. We said those are internal controls. You understand me? So detailed assessment of these informations to ensure that they are working well are tests of controls. They are those things that we call tests of control. Alternatively, they may go directly to tests of control without substantive tests without relying on internal controls. An auditor performing the work can check every detail of issues without relying on internal controls. The auditor relies on internal controls when he realizes internal controls are strong. Apart from the one mentioned above, let us look at areas in the audit engagement outlined by this strategy. So let's look at things that are likely to appear in the audit strategy. These things, this area is in question, so you have to take a critical look. Alternatively, in accounting standards and laws and regulation, in your strategy, you need to have an alternative audit or accounting standards, laws, and regulation. You need to have a budget, your engagement. If you are going to audit, you need to have a budget. You need to have a budget. Audit time. You need to have a time. In the audit plan, you have to state a time. Time for the audit. If it is 2 weeks, if it is 3 weeks, it needs to be stated. Date you are starting and date that you are ending. Engagement character. The nature of the work that you are going to do have to be stated in the audit strategy. The preliminary engagement activities with their results. The primary work that you have done in the grants organization before you are finally going to do the work, you need to state everything. Time, extent, and the nature of resources that are part of the audit engagement. So time, extent, and the nature of resources that are part of engagement all need to be spelled out in the audit strategic plan. The audit strategy and planning. The knowledge acquired from the grants, knowledge acquired from different audit engagement. You have to also state that. So auditor must decide what details such as strategy must be included. They can have a short strategy for small organization, and on the other hand, a strategy that be comparatively long for big organizations. One must know that auditor can create this engagement per internal requirement. In other words, there is no predetermined format for this audit strategy and plan. Please, are you okay? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Are you okay?
Yes, sir.
You're okay. So for you to absorb, I don't want us to stay long. So any question. If there's no question, then the next meeting we look at this content, the audit strategic and planning content. We look at those areas. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And I don't want your absorption rate to be low. I want you to understand what I'm teaching. So possibly we are meeting Monday. Okay. Hello,
Okay,
Ajman.
sir.
Like I want us to meet tomorrow, but tomorrow will be so busy for me. So we meet Monday, then I have cleared my arrest. Is that not it?
Okay, sir.
We meet Monday, I've cleared all my arrests. Is that not it?
Yeah.
So Monday, I'm hoping we'll finish with this audit strategy and start another. Monday, we are covering the rest of the areas left for the exam. If we are not able, next week we use 2 days. Okay. Hello.
Okay.
So if we are not able to clear next week, we use 2 days. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Because Monday I have it with level 400. Tuesday I have it. That is why I couldn't have it 2 days this week with you. From Monday I was handling the level 400 people up to yesterday, and I've taken you. That's why you people, I couldn't do 2 with you today this week. So next week we have 2 times. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And
Sir.
next week I'll let you people have your mid-sem questions. Don't worry. So you can start reading it, going through it. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sir, next week that we are writing the mid-semester exams.
Is it next week?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'll put it on it now for you. But we need to cover the areas that left before you can write it well. So Monday we are having it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Monday we are having it. We are meeting.
Sir, please, with the auditing, do we have any calculation in it, or they are all
Auditing,
just
we
reading?
don't have calculation in auditing. Auditing is
Okay.
and distance.
Oh, okay, sir.
Auditing, you haven't gotten to where you use the calculations yet. That one, when you are doing ICA finance.
Oh, okay.
And that one requires just calculations that will help you to explain certain things. Okay.
Okay. Okay, sir.
So we are meeting Monday. That one I will give you a new link. Monday and Tuesday we are meeting.
Okay, sir.
And Tuesday will be for the new week, that week. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So we are meeting. If we are not able to cover Monday, we'll cover Tuesday. Okay. Then you'll be
Okay,
ready
sir.
for the exam. So I'm giving you the mid-sem this thing just now. Okay. I'm putting it on your
Okay, sir.
WhatsApp page.
Okay, sir.
So okay. So see you. And Francis Danso came and he wasn't talking for me to know that he's around. Ajiman?
Yes, he came. He came. I think maybe the
I
network.
wasn't recognized the one, actually.